Could Michigan be the next state to legalize recreational marijuana? The people in that state will decide. State officials have agreed to let Michiganders vote on the issue come November. The proposal would allow anyone 21 and over to buy marijuana, no medical card required. If voters pass the petition, Michigan would become the first state in the Midwest to make recreational pot legal. Meanwhile, the city of Seattle wants to throw out some past marijuana convictions. That city's attorney filed papers today to do just that. Recreational marijuana is now legal in Washington state, and Seattle wants to throw out misdemeanors for possession from before that law changed. Can marijuana help fix the opioid epidemic? Last year, 45,000 people in the U.S. died from opioids. But how many died from marijuana? Well, exactly zero. How can marijuana help? Our Dr. Sanjay Gupta explores this in his new special Weed 4, Pot versus Pills. It'll air this Sunday on CNN.
I got into pain medicine at a time when we didn't have very good treatments for pain.
Dr. Mark Wallace is the director of the Center for Pain Medicine at UC San Diego. He, like most of us doctors, was taught in medical school to prescribe opioids.
We were told that, well, there's evidence that the use of opiates are probably not that risky and that we should use them more liberally.
They don't work.
It was the 1990s, and doctors were seeing a lot of commercials like this one.
So these drugs, which I repeat are our best, strongest pain medications, should be used much more than they are for patients in pain.
Problem is, while they were FDA approved for some kinds of pain, they were never intended to be used long term.
We went along with some of the advertisement that was coming around and the education that we were giving in medical schools.
Dr. Nora Volkow, the director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, believes that was the beginning of our opioid crisis.
We started to see patients who were prescribed opioids for their pain condition who had never been addicted to anything, becoming addicted to those drugs.
We knew that there was a danger. We knew that they weren't as effective after a period of time, and yet it still happened anyway.
Marketing.
We started questioning whether we should be using opioids, but we didn't have a lot of good alternatives at the time.
Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta joins me now live. And Sanjay, it is mind-boggling to imagine that the opioid epidemic we're in the midst of, that lives have been lost to, countless lives, was a result of marketing.
It's really frightening and obviously really sad if you're one of these families watching who has lost somebody due to this. You know, tens of thousands of people dying every year. As you pointed out, it was marketing. It was also, I think, the medical community, frankly, myself, doctors, taking that marketing sort of at face value. I mean, the constant lesson that you kept hearing from folks was that these were fine, these were safe, it was no problem with addiction. And we know that wasn't true. We take 80 to 90% of the world's supply of these drugs in this country, and that's what happened over the last several years.
I want to ask you about this open letter you penned to Jeff Sessions.
He's somebody who can do something about this. Look, you know, we asked him to sit down and talk to us, to do an interview. They said no. I felt almost an imperative to do what we do, Michaela, right? I mean, journalists, I think, speak truth to power. That's part of what we do. We've spent so long investigating this. We have found so much of the data. We've been able to aggregate it in one place and create this letter with all the supporting research. I want him to have that as an imperative, you know, medically for him to see it, but also because he is in a position to do something about it. There are people who are continuously looking at this data and changing their minds. John Boehner recently did that, a fellow conservative of Jeff Sessions. You know, he said he was unalterably opposed to this in the past. That's a strong statement. Well, now he's changed his mind. If Attorney General Sessions looks at this data and sees some of the science, not the rhetoric, maybe he could make a huge difference and save thousands of lives.
Dr. Gupta, always a delight to talk to you about this. We're very excited about the new special, Weed 4, Pot versus Pills. It'll air this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern on CNN. Always good to see you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Michaela. You got it. Thank you.